saw that. Is that new? Did you guys recently pick that up?
He's somewhat new. We got him over the summer, but he's kind of grouchy, so he doesn't get as much attention as some of the other guys do.
My Whipwitz is the same. He's a little grumpy too.
Trying to get our camera situated here. Way up.
We have a iPhone here, and it's not ideal.
Well, what I can see on my other phone, so I'm trying to use another phone so that my freaking background isn't all backwards and mirrored.
Gotcha.
Videos. So the other camera's like a little bit behind, but from what I can see, you guys look fine. Like 10 seconds ago, you look good.
Started out sideways. You say hi? Got all of them to bed except one, so.
Nice.
Good as it gets.
I'll get into a few questions. It's just going to be us tonight. Josh won't be here. He is working. I got caught up in LA yesterday, and I couldn't even attempt to do the podcast from where I was at. You're not allowed to have really a phone. Like, even my stories, I guess I could have gotten in trouble for taking stories in there. You're not supposed to have phones where I was at.
Right.
But it's just going to be us tonight. No Josh. So I'll get started with a good question. How many kids do you guys have, and how many help you?
How many what?
Help you guys with the dragons.
We have 7 kids, ages 3 to 12, and they pretty much all help, like, I don't know, one way or another. A couple of them were picking dandelions in the yard today to make salads, and they're all pretty into it, you know, at varying levels.
Nice. So only one of my daughter is really into it. She likes to clean the cages, which is really weird, but like that's one of her favorite days. Is I'm like, what? That's the worst part. But the other ones, they're just like, eh. The oldest one, he's 13. He's more into video games and drawing, so he doesn't want anything to do with. So,
all right, you're back now. We lost you for about 10 seconds.
Sorry, yeah. All right, are we good now?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you guys know how many species that you have?
That we have right now?
Yeah.
Focus right now is definitely the dragons, who've kind of taken over everything. Other than the dragons, we've got a couple leopard geckos, a crested gecko, ball pythons, corn snakes, Honduran milk snake, well, boas.
Yeah, a few boas, but yeah, most of the snakes are still being grown up. We got a couple of ball pythons that are big enough to breed, but you know, 80% of our producing animals are dragons at this point.
Nice. So, like, the future is going to be just bearded dragons mainly and ball pythons? Is that what I hear?
The bearded dragons are
immediate future is dragons.
Immediate and long-term future, and then as far as snakes goes, I'm not sure. We'll see.
Mostly still growing out, especially like the boas. You buy them as hatchlings, and you've got like 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years
until they've reached maturity. So it's a long wait.
Dang, that's a big investment. Yeah, you really gotta wait a while. You got a lot of time to think about that one, I guess.
Yeah, it's you know, we're sure that we love our dragons. We're here. We're into them. But you know, as far as boas, and ball pythons and everything else, time will tell. I'm still kind of investing into that side of things. It'll be a handful of years before when we're producing anything.
Nice. So this is actually the first year that I possibly will produce tegus. My female is just huge. I can tell that she's just loaded with eggs. I separated my male today, so I'm super excited about that. But I don't know if they're fertile or not, so still a waiting game.
I saw that picture in your stories earlier. She looked absolutely massive.
Yeah, she's got to be twice as big as my male, and he was already pretty big. So I threw some hay in there. She's got a nice big nest made. I took him out today. He's separated, so hopefully I'll have eggs in like the next week or two. They've been together for about a month now. So my future is definitely going to be tegus and bearded dragons, just because they're like the same temperament if you train them well. I feel like when tegus get bigger, they kind of mellow out. Like Savannah monitors, a lot of people get upset or say like Savannah monitors are mean, but like usually when they're small, most animals are pretty aggressive. Like black throats and Savannah monitors, as soon as they get like really big, if you handle them while they were small, they're pretty tame.
Tegu is definitely on my list for one day.
They're so cool. They're just little babies. And my female's a little aggressive right now. She doesn't really like me. I'm assuming that that's because she's full of eggs. Because for the most part, she's been like a sweetheart. Just a little lap dog will just lay there in your lap, do nothing, lick you. Sometimes I forget that I let her out, and she'll just be laying by my feet, and I'll like kick her on accident, like a little dog.
That's great.
I think tegus are definitely awesome. I don't know why people like are so against them right now. You see with like US Arc, like seems like they attack tegus the most.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But I think they're great.
Yeah, that's on your bucket list.
On my bucket list for sure. Space is the problem.
Yeah, they do. It's like 2 cages that you could get with bearded dragons would be 1 tegu.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of space.
So, since you guys are so into the bearded dragons, what is your guys' favorite morph? If you have it or don't have it, just like what is your favorite one that you see on the market right now?
My personal favorite is definitely citrus or high yellow. That's gonna be my personal favorite. What about you?
My personal favorite are like the Kids and Dragons, like the really high blue Dunners. I think I'd like my focus to be those, like getting more color into those, like high blue Dunners that have like red in them or some trans. Just really bringing out a lot of color in those, I think, would be probably my most anticipated project.
Yeah, I got a male. Let's see if he'll come out right now. You can see him. He has some really nice bars that I want to breed him to some females. Bars are going to be a big thing I want to bring in for the red zone this year. They kind of pop on everything. Citrus, orange, reds. And then when you get them with the leatherbacks, they're just, I think it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's one of our boys here.
Yeah, see, you guys killing it. And for those of you guys that don't know, they literally have an identical pair to what I have here. My male Phoenix and my female Envy look identical to 2 dragons they have, but the genetics are a little different, but they look literally identical. Every time they post, I'm like, damn, how did they take my dragons? Run to my room and double check real quick. Yeah, that guy's those bars are crazy. I don't have anything with that great of bars. My female has like, what I like about her is her bars are really, really blue. Okay. They're not like gray. Every time I don't know how to explain it. I'll show you. But she looks really, really blue instead of gray.
Blackhorn dragons because he's only.
And look, she made me look like a liar now. Now she looks black.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But I think translucent with the blue bars make it like really pop. It comes out crazy.
That's what I'm really wanting to see kind of more of with the Dunner. I mean, Dunners are definitely on the top of my list as far as favorites go. Hey, Christy. Say hi.
Oh snap! Finally, Christy joins.
Christy's on next, right?
Yes, actually, I think she is on next.
Yay.
Lauren ruined the surprise. It wasn't me, Josh. So if you're watching the episode, it wasn't me. I didn't say it. So for those of you guys that are tuning in, you just got a little extra free info right there.
Whoops. Spoiler alerts.
No worry. I just got done with dinner too. I had to eat so fast. Like, not sure if I totally tasted it because I finished at like 5:40. I was like, oh shit. Podcast is in a minute. And I can't be late because I'm the only one that's hosting it tonight. I got another question for you guys. Do both of you work? Do one of you work? How does that work?
So we both work our tails off. We own an auto repair shop, and I run that full time, 5 days a week, and then Lauren stays here at the house taking care of the kids that are not in school. And then
he's not always this good.
Yeah, he's not always this good. Normally he's a wild man, but yeah, she takes care of the dragons and the house and the kids and all of that. And I think she works harder than I do.
I totally know how that is. My wife's the magic behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know. She does the cleaning for like 90% with my daughter. And then I wouldn't even dare bring my son on here. That guy would ruin the whole podcast. Yelling at me the whole time, smacking me. I could just imagine. And you guys have more than us. I only have 4. You got 3 extras.
And the dragons are a full-time job. I mean, people definitely don't realize how much time it is. I mean, my hat's off to you guys who work a full-time job and then you come home and do the dragons. Like, I don't know how you guys have time for that.
Yeah, no, it would be totally a pain in the butt if I did not have my wife to help and the kids for sure. I probably wouldn't sleep but like 2 hours a night because then I have to run the Instagram and edit the videos. So when we do the podcast, I usually get off, I edit everything, so that takes a while, and then I only have 16 dragons plus the babies that just hatched and more babies that are about to hatch. So that's small to some people. Like, how many dragons do you guys have? You have similar, right?
I think we've got like 22, 23 that are like our permanent like collection, and I think 30 babies have hatched so far, and we've got like another like probably close to 100 eggs in the incubator. So it's going to be still a lot of females that are either going to lay or double clutch. It'll be a very busy summer with babies.
See, yeah, and that's another thing. My wife has to take care of the babies at night, and then I do it in the morning when I wake up early. I'll feed them again. So it's definitely, especially when, like you guys are about to hatch, over 100 dragons. So at one time, you could have
Yeah.
a ton of work. Babies are way worse than the adults. They poop
It's
2-3
pretty-
times a day.
Yeah, I mean, they do absolutely nothing but eat, which means nothing but poop.
Yeah. And yeah, you get no rest with babies. You clean them,
Yeah.
put them right back in their cage, and it's dirty again. You can never get nice pictures of your baby dragons in their clean cages because it just doesn't happen. And if it does, I think you photoshopped your picture because I've never had a clean baby picture. Or they're a pain in the butt and they like poop on each other, like.
It's nuts. It's just everywhere.
And especially when you get a ton of them together. Right now, I only have 22, and they're split in between 2 cages right now, so it's 11 and 11. I should probably break them into smaller, but they're like teeny. I forget every year how small they are until they hatch. Like when I see last year's grow outs, I'm like, man, they're not gonna be that small. I don't need that much. Like, oh my god, they're teeny. It's like smaller than a blue-bellied lizard. I guess that's what I'm expecting, like a full-grown blue-belly or like a western fence lizard, like something that size to come out of the egg, and it's even smaller than that. It blows your mind that they grow so fast.
It does.
You guys loving here right now.
Can y'all hear us all right?
Yeah, sorry guys, I've been totally ignoring the chat. Usually I got 2 people, so Josh can talk to the guests, and then I'll look at the chat. So I do apologize to everybody in the chat. What's up, everyone? I was disappointed last night. Liar. You don't even tune in. That was my boss. He doesn't even tune in. Just saying that. Talking crap. Dang, everyone said hi to you guys. I'm definitely gonna have to bring you back on the podcast. No one even said hi to me tonight. They just said hi.
Hi.
Best pet reptile, second to dragons. Oh yeah, definitely tegus are the next best thing. How curious too as how your son is being so good. Oh, they must know your son they must know he's a monster too.
He's half asleep. He's normally in bed like an hour ago.
So what time is it actually on where you guys are?
It's like 9:20.
Dang, so yeah, look, that I appreciate that. They got the kids up late, stayed up late to talk to us. So remember, appreciate that, guys. When people come on, like for me, it's only 6 o'clock. But then most of the time, it's gonna be much later. So appreciate when these people take time out of the day to come talk to you and answer your questions.
Yeah, she pulled me off the couch. I was about to fall asleep.
I'm the night owl. He's not the night owl. No, we appreciate you guys having us on.
The women definitely behind all quiet as kids. I don't know what this is. Do the numbers include the grow outs as well, or 23 all total breeders, which is a lot of work? Yeah, I think anything over like 10 adults starts becoming just work. Like,
yeah.
You cannot spend like quality time with 10 dragons if you are one person while cleaning them and feeding everybody. Like, you would literally be up all day. You would have to not have a job and just be like a retired old lady that instead of getting cats, you're like the crazy bearded dragon lady.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Definitely in my future.
That's really the only way. You would have to, because I know I couldn't take care of all these dragons by myself. I would have to downsize my collection and be more select about what I keep back. Having the support of my family behind me definitely helps me keep more, because to be honest, like monitors are super my passion. I love like the bigger lizards, and no one in my family likes them. They absolutely hate, like, I wouldn't say they hate, they just aren't going to touch any of them. They're not going to work with them. They don't want to feed them. They'll put the food out for me, but they will not put the food in the cages. So monitors are like what I like to handle. they're more like, I don't want to say intelligent or anything, but like they interactive. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. They
They're
interact
like an actual
more.
dragon.
And so even Ackie monitors, the ones that stay really small, like my son will work with him, and I like that. But like my Nile monitor, he's my favorite one, and he literally hates me. Like he's not that great of being handled or anything, but I love handling him when he's nice and wants to be handled. But most of the time, that's like not gonna happen. Usually, he's a jerk, tail whipping me, and then if anyone else comes in the room while I'm holding him, he'll bite the shit out of me and take off running in his cage. So no one else wants to work with him because of that. But I like that bearded dragons are like almost a science project that you can work with morphs. There's so much that you can put into it, and when you produce something, I think it's so rewarding. That's how I feel the same when I like when my monitor lets me hold him. I feel the same way as hatching like some crazy dunners or some zeros. I get that same enjoyment, but it's like much farther in between because usually he's just a jerk.
It's really rewarding.
Yeah.
So what kind of snake? You said you have red tail boas, and what morphs of ball pythons do you guys have?
So, and I forgot to mention corn snakes. I do actually have quite a few corn snakes as well. And they're all but two, and all but four of them are still yearlings or less or younger. And as far as boas, I like locality stuff. Guyana, Surinams, and
bright red tails.
Yeah. And as far as ball pythons, we don't intend on getting real serious into ball pythons. We'd like to have a few clowns, a few pieds, and a few other odds and ends. We've
got mostly hets right now.
Yeah.
I like pieds too. Those are like my favorite morph.
Pieds. That was my bucket list snake for like 10 years, and we finally got a pied last year. It's pretty awesome.
So I want the pied, or they're called. I'm not sure if everyone calls them that, but the panda.
Panda pied.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those if I could have one of those, but then I read something like when people create them, half the clutch dies and only a third of them live or something. I was like, well, that's terrible.
Yeah, those are bad odds.
Yeah. Our odds with ball pythons so far have not been ideal. So quite our groove.
I might get a ball python so that I could get my kids warmed up to it, but I got rid of my retic and my fish because I started running out of room, and I know that I'm gonna have a bunch of, or I don't know, I shouldn't jinx myself, but I'm planning on having a ton of tegus, so I need the extra room. So it was whatever I planned on breeding got to stay, and whatever was just something cool and cost me money, I had to find it at home. So unfortunately, my retic and my fish, those are both gone. This fish tank took up a ton of room for no reason. It was just really cool. But now it's gonna house all my baby tegus when they hatch, hopefully. I think it would be perfect. It's 1.5 feet wide and 6 feet long. It'd be perfect for a ton of tegus.
It's a good sized tank.
My fish, and I grew. So I should say, I wasn't really attached to the fish. I grew them up for a year, but yeah, you can't really pet them or anything. So they're just cool to look at. So at the end of the day, I was just all right, I'll find him a new home. I wasn't heartbroken over it.
My first my first reptile was ball python. If you don't include all the wild caught stuff that I got when I was a kid, and then yours was a tortoise, wasn't it?
Fox turtle.
box turtle, and so she's stayed with the more on the lizard side, and I stayed more on the snake side. But we both love dragons. We both love all of our snakes.
Yeah, I personally love bearded dragons because I also think it's a great reptile to get people into just reptiles in general. Not so much like breeding or the hobby side, but reptiles in general. Once they see a somewhat larger lizard and it's super tame and it's not biting them, it kind of warms them up, and then they'll go check out other stuff. So I definitely think it's like the gateway reptile, you know.
When we do shows, anyone who comes up to the table, the first thing Ben tells them, he's like, this is like the puppy dog of the reptile world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just sit there and, you know, they're just so chill. They've got, I mean, usually just such awesome temperaments.
Yeah, and they take like literally minimal handling to get them to be tame.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so awesome that you don't have to handle them a ton, and most of them are very nice. Every once in a while, you'll get like that random stray that likes to just, you know, be different than everybody else. Because I got two of them on my team that don't cooperate very well.
Yeah.
We've got two, I think.
Yeah,
seems
my
like
wife
it was
won't wash two of our dragons because she's like, yeah, I've got bit twice by them. Not doing it. They're yours. But I got also my Euromastics that are mating right now. I think they're mating. Like, I hope they're mating because I keep walking in and they're doing something weird, and then the male runs off and the female's like upside down. So like, I think that's mating. I don't know. He's got a weird way of doing it, I guess. But I really hope that I produce some Euromastics this year too.
Euromastics are awesome.
And they take forever to breed too. They can't even breed till they're like 4 years old. Thankfully, I bought mine like from someone that was breeding them, so it was already a pair. I was hoping actually they would produce last year, and they didn't. So maybe this year is my lucky year where I get Tegu's, Euromastics, and the bearded dragons.
That'd be awesome.
So what is your most, the clutch that you are most excited for this year that you've got in your incubator?
Huh. Well, that one already hatched.
No, I meant Sunshine. Probably mine would be a clutch from Sunshine, who is our only trans citrus female. She's just on fire. I mean, we named her Sunshine for a reason, and she's been an awesome mama, a solid girl. Produced, I think, 60 eggs this year. But she's like of all of our eggs in the incubator, I'm probably the most excited about her clutches.
Which should be hatching any day. So I think,
right?
Yeah, I think today is day like 57, 58 for that clutch. So we're like opening the incubator like a dozen times a day.
It's funny. I have what's called a sensor push. It's a little gateway, and you put sensors wherever you want to, and name the sensors. Well, I have 2 sensors in the incubator, and I get notifications on my phone anytime the sensors go above or below what I tell it to. So
he can be at work, and it notifies him like he can.
It gets a 2-degree drop, and I know she's in there.
So he knows every time I open the incubator door, he'll text me. He's like, "Stop! You've checked him. Like, this is not just new. Leave him alone."
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually have a camera right above my the door to my garage where my reptile room is, and you can see the incubator from there. And when the babies start hatching, that thing, the motion detector goes off all the time because my wife's like, oh, another one's out of the egg. And I'm like, I don't even get time to text her before she's already texting me like, hey, there's another one. There's another one. I'm like, oh. Chill, just let them hatch. Forget about them for a couple hours, and they'll all be out. I swear.
All of these. Here's the graph. Every time you see these drops, every time she's opening an incubator.
Totally busted.
Dang, got snitched out.
Yeah, it was funny. The first time it happened, she was like, "How did you know?"
My most anticipated clutch is actually the next clutch that's supposed to be hatching, which I like. It should be hatching already because it was laid 3 days after my first clutch. It's already 5 days after my first clutch, so like, I could barely sleep. I just want to wake up. It's the pairing that I have that matches your male and female. So he's a hypo G-stripe het trans male to a hypo het trans female. So I'm hoping to get some hypo trans red with like crazy blue bars, maybe some G-stripes. But yeah, I'm just every day I'm probably worse than Lauren. I'm in there like 30 times before I leave the house. Like, come on, maybe they're out. Maybe they're out. Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my most anticipated clutch. And then she's actually double clutching, so I'm super excited about that. I keep putting her in the lay box, and she probably gets mad at me because she's probably not ready. But I literally put her in there every day, just like, come on, maybe today's the day, maybe today's the day, and it just hasn't been the day yet. So hopefully I get 2 or 3 clutches from her. That'd be super exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How many of yours are actually breeder age, not coming up?
So I only
breeding this year.
I only have 4 that are juveniles that aren't able to breed. So I have 12 that are ready to go. 13 right now because I got one of John from Extreme Arizona Dragons. I got one of his males. We're kind of doing a collab. I picked up a female that was 66% het whiplets, who's super dark red, translucent, and he's a hypo het for whiplets, but he's 100% het for whiplets. So hopefully we're gonna prove out that she's 100% het for whiplets and get some super deep red whiplets this year.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I actually got a confirmed lock last night from them. She already gave me like random 6 infertile eggs at the beginning of the season, probably like a month ago. And then I put her back with him after a week or 2. So now we're sitting, they've been together on and off for about a week now. And finally got a lock. So hopefully it's a good one this time.
Good. Yep, sometimes that can be frustrating. We've got some males that are, I don't know, I think we think they've gone celibate or something.
Forever. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like first introduction and you get a lock, and then there was a pair that we literally, I think we started pairing them in September and finally got a lock in February. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, just, it's so unpredictable. It never goes like the way you think it's gonna go.
Yeah, the 2 males that I have that are usually like 100% good to go. You don't have to leave him in there for more than 20-30 minutes and he knows what to do. This year were like retarded and kept getting the wrong end, or would just like grab the girl by her neck and then she would run around and he would just run around with her. I'm like, dude, this is not what you're supposed to do at all. You're killing me right now. And I was all excited this year because I have all my new cages set up. And I was like, man, everyone's going to breed so well for me in these new cages. I'm going to be able to switch them all out. And yeah, honestly, this is like the roughest year I've had. Giving me small anxiety attacks all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a big learning curve, and you know, you think, well, here's what I'm gonna do next year. I'm gonna have this pairing and this pairing, and then all of a sudden, that male says no more, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I have one male that my whiplets actually, he puffs up, bobs his head, gets all crazy, and then does nothing. I'm like, bro, what is your problem? Like, I just want some hets. I want some het whiplets out of you. Come on. You're not pulling your weight over here, dude. You're just eating all the food and not doing any of the work.
Yep.
And the female that I have that I keep pairing with him, she's like he's the only one that she'll like accept. Like the other ones, she just wants to beat them up and fight them and bite their tails. And I'm like, man, you picked the one retarded one that doesn't want you to be your girlfriend. So frustrating sometimes. But yeah, definitely you learn. It's not black and white or science with these guys for sure. You have it's a lot of luck as well. There's a lot of luck.
Yeah, it's if there's one thing we've learned this year, it's that having backup males is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely just total backup projects. Because
backup
I was
whole
like
project.
dead set on this female going to another one or to my whiplets too. That me and the blue bar that I ended up putting that matches your guys' dragon, and I was gonna put her with my whiplets too. That way, I'd have two females producing hets. And then, yeah, he didn't do nothing, so I put her with my red female that I actually ended up picking him up just so that I had another dragon because I didn't have another project. So I had to pick up that male that is the Hypo Het Trans G-Stripe. I got him from Snapdragon Reptiles, I think. That's their name? I don't know. That doesn't matter. But yeah, don't be like me where you're looking for a male in the middle of the season because
I'm in that boat
you have a backup project.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it and then some people don't ever want to get rid of their dragons. You know, I don't know why. I mean, I don't want to get rid of any of mine, but I'd really like it if some people would sell me theirs.
yeah, you and me both.
But no, I see a lot of people doing some amazing clutches this year, so I'm definitely gonna invest hard at the end of the year on some other bloodlines because there's a lot of this year's gonna be interesting. There's a lot of people breeding some crazy stuff this year.
Yeah.
Like you guys definitely got to get some citrus because here I'll show you my female. I need to get a male because my male he's like all right, but he's kind of dull. We're gonna retire him this year, and I want to find something that's like really bright. But she's only 3 years old now, so I'm gonna need something, you know, relatively close to her age. But she's about to go and shed. But she's got crazy bars all over her back, but she's super bright citrus hypo.
She's bright under that light.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
So like you guys, citrus is definitely, oh yeah, dang, I just saw it on my camera. She like glows. You probably didn't even see her really. Don't worry, I'll send you pictures later. But yeah, citrus is definitely something I see. Like I saw a lot of people kind of decline last year and just not get citrus or into it, and everyone was like all over reds, and then no one produced citrus dragons, and now this year, like a ton of people are like, oh, I need citrus.
They're underrated.
I see a lot of people getting back into it.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, he is knocked out. I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah, he's a goner. We lost him. He's actually snoring.
Also, I want to ask you guys about your cages because I know you guys were having some temp problems. Did you guys ever get that fixed out? Fixed out?
We're still working on that. We've found, I mean, the 4-foot size, no issues whatsoever, but the 3-foot size having a harder, like with the front opening enclosures, having a harder time getting like a hot spot and, you know, an actual cool spot. There just doesn't seem to be enough. I mean, it really needs more ventilation is what needs to happen. But even with the 25-watt bulb, you know, with the basking spot will be like 103 or 4, and then the cool end's like 91. You know, there's just not enough of a gauge there. So we've kind of had the basking bulbs on a timer, you know, which helps a little bit, you know, so they're not on all day long, but it's not ideal. So I don't know. We have mostly the 4-foot size, but the 3-foot we need to modify them somehow. Like with ventilation.
If we at this time we don't intend on getting any more 3-foots because of the temperature problem, and
I do that too, Christy. With the fan going. We did get an AC unit for this room. So we haven't hooked that up yet, but that's next to try. We haven't tried dimmers.
Yeah, so I kind of started running into the same problem on like some super hot days because everything's in the garage, so it's like pretty warm before the lights kicked on. So I was actually going to message you guys because I had seen what somebody else did, and they had made these little things that slide in the track of your door, but it's screened like mesh, so the heat could come out, but your dragon couldn't come out.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I was like, why did I not think of that? That is amazing. So you put it on the opposite side of your basking light, so the dragon could go to that side to cool down, and you leave your door cracked without risking the dragon getting out.
That's a great idea.
Probably, yeah, that's genius. We'll definitely be trying that. Someone was telling me too, it might have been Josh, I don't know if it was Josh, about like a little just like USB fan, like putting it up in the corner by the vent. You'd need a lot of them though with, you know, it might be a good option if you just had like a couple of enclosures.
Yeah, I forget who posted it, but it was in their story. I was like, man, that's such a great idea. Like you could just put the mesh for like your screen windows or whatever. I think that's what they were using, like the thicker screening material for just your windows or your screen doors or whatever. And it's like 3 inches wide and just as tall as their cage, and it just slid right into the spot, and you slid the door up to that, almost like a doggy door that you would add to a sliding door or something.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I use dimmers on all my heat bulbs and then make the basking spot hotter. So that's not their problem. They're already using a 25-watt bulb, so it's really like you don't want to put a dimmer on all of your things and have to mess with that. You would like to just find an easy-all, fix-all source when you have a ton of dragons, guys. I'm sure they don't want to go buy 4 to 8 dimmers if they're getting more, because like dimmers aren't the cheapest thing. But we're trying to fix it without adding, a ton of money in costs.
Believe it or not, the fluorescent fixtures put off quite a bit of heat.
The Arcadia lights put off, I think, a surprising amount of heat, like just the UVB bulb. I mean, you put your hand under there and it throw off a decent amount of heat.
Yeah, so the actual hot spot is right where it needs to be, but the entire rest of the cage is only a few degrees.
Yeah.
And your guys' are set up like mine, right? You have the 2-foot bulb in there?
I don't know, these might be an 18-inch. I'm not sure.
I think it's like an 18-inch bulb or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It might be 22-inch or 24.
So yeah, it almost stretches like the majority of the cage. I didn't think about it when I first put my cages together, but I probably could have moved it to where it was more on the basking side too, because I didn't think about the heat either. Um, but they're already screwed in. Everything looks good. I'm not gonna take them all apart. It'd be a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
So
you just know for next time.
yeah, for sure. When I put them together next time, definitely. Or if I put in an addition, because for my tegus, anything like that, any cage that I build now, that's definitely going to be something that I think about where the UVB light is and cool spots, stuff like that. So that's something you guys should be thinking about as well when you're putting your UVB bulbs. Because someone sent me the other day, they had a smaller tank with a UVB bulb and it stretched the entire tank. So with the basking spot and the bulb on there, a lot of the heat is not being able to escape now because you have so many lights on top of the cage. The heat is just staying in there. You're cooking the spot, so you got to make sure your temps are good on both sides.
Yeah, and them having a place to escape the UVB too, at least a little bit.
Yeah, and for clarification, we don't have this problem in the 4-foot, so
yeah,
we don't. Moving forward, we probably just won't buy any more of the 3-foots. We'll just stick with the 4-foots and
give them more space anyway,
and be done with it and not have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I was literally like 7 inches short on my wall to get 4 cages. So I was like,
Yeah, that's kind of what we ran into. We could put 3 4-foots and 6 3-foots, or we could put 6 4-foots. So
because we just got a small bedroom where all the reptiles are. I mean, we really are out of our space.
The room is pretty much a 10 by 10 room, and
we're like maximizing every inch of this room.
The snakes were evicted to the bedroom, and so this whole room is wall to wall dragons.
Yeah, dang, 10 by 10. So I'm probably in like double that amount of space. But I gotta share a small corner with my wife for her like DIY stuff. And then then I have the rats in the in the closet, so I have a walk-in closet for all the rats to breed. And then without the closet I still probably have like 20 by I think this wall is like 12, but the door comes out at a crappy spot, which if the door was like 7 inches to the right, then I would have been able to get 4-foot cages. But literally the door ruined that. So you would have opened the door to the back of my cages.
Yeah. We're looking at either a mini barn or we're trying to find a house that has a basement.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife too. I was like, if we're getting any place, better have space in the back for a tough shed. And I'm not talking like the little tough sheds. I want like the biggest tough shed they got.
It's funny when we've looked at houses and stuff online, just kind of browsing. It's like the very first thing, like, let's look at the basement. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, whenever she brings up a place, I'm like, does it have a shop? I don't even want to hear about it if it doesn't have a shop.
Yep. Priorities.
Yeah, there's a guy that's down the street from me. He's probably got like a 10,000 square foot shop. And I'm like, goals. And this guy just parks cars in it. I'm like, dude, totally wasting all that space. You have so many reptiles in there. Like, you only need so many cars, bro. You can't drive all of those cars. Like, I get it. It's cool. But you could have heck of lizards in here.
People don't know what they're missing.
They don't. I tried to spread the word. I'm like, man, you guys need to put reptiles in your garages. And they're like, but, like, that's where my lawnmower goes. And I'm like, dude, you can put the lawnmower out back. Just put a tarp over it. Doesn't need to go in the garage. You're just making up excuses now.
Yep.
The little guy is on. Yes, the little guy is definitely out.
Yeah, he usually doesn't last past 9.
Hey, Lauren's strong. I couldn't hold my kid for like more than 10 minutes, and he falls asleep. My arms would be dead.
Yeah, he's a heavy one too.
And my son, he turns 1 in May, and he's only like 30, 35 pounds. Your son looks a little bit bigger than that. I would be like, So, are you guys planning on getting into any new morphs this year?
There's a lot that we're still growing up.
So what do you guys have that are growing up for the future?
Our Zero and our Wit are still growing up. Some of
That
our
Wit looks pretty big.
Yeah, he's gaining some size. So those will probably be like some of our last pairings of the year.
Are you gonna pair the Zero with the Wit?
Yeah, make some Het Weeros.
Nice.
And that male Wit, probably take him to like a citrus female too. We get some citrus Het Wits.
Yeah, because he's beautiful. He's got full coloration.
Nice yellow. He's really developed a lot of color.
Yeah, like I was totally jealous when I saw him. I was like, man, my guy looks dull. He went over there and I showed him the picture. I was like, you call yourself a Whiplets? Look at this guy.
He's just such a brat. I took him outside and got all these pictures. I don't know the last time I did that. He's just so grouchy.
Yeah.
He doesn't get shown off enough.
You just get seems like you just get these occasional juvenile males that are just punks, and they just have,
like the males go through like some kind of weird teenage
rebellious
something. Like something.
I have one female that she is. You can't get the food in her cage fast enough because she's like biting it out of your hand. So hopefully you grab enough food that she doesn't get your hand with the food, because she's like, she must be a tomboy or something, because she's a little aggressive.
Yeah. What other morphs are you planning on getting into or have our eyes on? I don't think we have that many more morphs as much as it's just trying to hone in our projects. Getting a nicer red male, or getting this or getting that, and
really want to make some crazy like red and blue trans Dunners would definitely be my end goal. I think my dream.
Yeah, Dunners are I think they're awesome. Just like their scalation changes the pattern so much that like they get those little white scales that poke straight up. I think their patterns are the best when they change up or mix up anything that you breed into them. Dunners are definitely one of my favorites, and I like that you can breed it to leatherback and get leatherback Dunners or normal scale Dunners, and it'll still mess up the pattern. Like, it doesn't matter about the scales and the leatherback. Leatherback Dunners look actually really clean. It cleans up the whole pattern because you can see it more instead of like a normal scale.
Yeah.
So, Dunners are awesome.
They are.
Yeah, Dunners are definitely one of our favorite traits. A good solid rainbow Dunner is probably one of my top picks for a dragon.
Like a hypo orange to a citrus, where you get blues and oranges and yellows and
it's just hence rainbow.
Yeah, no, you guys totally. I absolutely love rainbow Dunners, and I talk to people a lot of the time, and I try to explain that there's like a price gap in the different types of expression. Like, you could get a low expression rainbow Dunner that is like very cheap, and then you could get like a very high expression rainbow Dunner that isn't so cheap. And people are like, well, I don't get it. They're both rainbow dunners. Yeah, but obviously you can tell one looks way better than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much anymore.
And when and dunners with blue bars, like that's my favorite because then they just go all over the place. Like Kids and Dragons are killing it over there.
Oh, yeah.
They sell out so fast. I can't even buy a dragon.
I've been trying for
Instagram.
like 2 years.
Every time I see that they posted, it was like 34 minutes late and everything sold out.
Even like, I mean, certain people, you know, they put up their list, you know, KP, Kids and Dragons, you know, Phantom, like all those guys. It's like 12 minutes, you know, and you're like, oh, great, I just caught it early, and ooh, everything's gone. I mean, you've got to be so crazy fast.
So KP thankfully lives literally like an hour and a half from me. So anytime he goes to a show, like I'm there. And
awesome.
I know a couple people that are like really good friends with them. One of my friends that I talk to a lot, his wife or girlfriend used to work for them. So yeah, KP definitely someone I want to get on the podcast. That's going to be
that would be awesome.
One of the biggest breeders that I know. They're killing the game over there. They literally have everything everybody else wants.
Their wits are mind-blowing.
Yeah, their dragons are absolutely beautiful. I have a hypo translucent leatherback red male from them, my male Magnum. Actually, that's probably the most anticipated clutch. So if they produce, I won't have rainbow dunners, but I'll have rainbows for sure. I bred him to a female that is like a low expression rainbow het hypo. So I'm going to have a lot of hypos. Het, all of them will be het trans, and then super colors. So that'll be super exciting. That actually, yeah, so I lied earlier. That's probably my most exciting clutch. And I have like 31 eggs from them. So I can't wait. And she's going to definitely double clutch because she put on like 40 grams in a week. And I was like, what the heck?
Wow.
That was
That's
fast.
a big gain.
Yeah, and she eats everything. I'll put anything in her cage, and it's absolutely destroyed in the morning. She doesn't leave nothing.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. It is 7 o'clock here. It's probably 10 o'clock there. I will let you guys all go to bed and put your son to sleep. Thank you so much again for coming on the podcast and talking to us. It's great to get to know a little bit more about Hatchet Hillman. Thank you, Ben and Lauren. You guys got a 2-for-1 tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have you guys on again for sure. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.